In this version of Interplay, we are going to talk about building advanced AI applications by using the advanced AI code blocks inside Interplay Spirit. In the prior versions of Interplay, we introduced Simple AI, which is basically a simple block which allowed you to upload a file, set up the training columns and the target columns, and train models as well as predict models easily. We did this for regression, we did this for classification, we did this for clustering, as well as we did this for image recognition. In this version, we are introducing an advanced AI node for regression as well as for clustering. This advanced AI node enables you to do very granular functions. So if you look at these nodes here, in fact, you can find them right here in the under the Auto AI section. If you look at each node here, they are all numbered by a sequence. We made it easy, so it's easier for engineers to look at these sequence and drag and drop these nodes and perform very granular AI functions. So first you start by dragging and dropping the advanced AI project node. So you set up whether you want to do a regression or a clustering or a classification, right? And then you select the data set, the name of the data set, and a version, because Interplay will automatically manage the version for you, right? And then here you upload your file, or you can select it from the manage storage folder. And when you upload the file, you can view the file here. So in this case, you can see this is basically a data set that has flights over the last couple of months. I think it's a pretty large data set. I think it's close to 1 million. That shows flights, the time, the source city, the departure city, the time, the duration, right, and the price. So we are using this data set to predict future price given all this information from all these columns. Now what we can do is, by using the profile visualizer, we can take the granular data set that we put in, and it's going to give you average, mean, median, and where data is missing and so on. So this allows you to understand what the source input data is. You also have a tabular data visualizer, which is very similar to what you see in Jupyter and other places, where you get to dump the pandas data set and view what it is, right? Now what we're going to do is, since we've loaded the data up, now we're going to basically go in here and select which one of our variables are categorical variables, which variables are numerical variables, and what our target is, right? So once we do that, we can actually go and visualize that data. Before that, we are also going to go ahead and set up missing value. So in this case, what we are doing here is, if in the column of duration, if any of the data row is missing, just replace that by the mean, right? I think in this case, standard flight duration is some 26 hours or something, right? And it will replace it by the value 26, right? So since we've done that, we can go in here and we can visualize that data, right? And you can see, wherever it had missing value, it has replaced it by the 26 data value, right? Next thing we're going to do is we're also going to add, right, scalars, min-max scalars to it. So you can simply set that up on which columns you want to do. And we also have the ability to say, take all the textual columns or string columns where you have string data, and you can send it under an encoder, right? Because the machine learning systems don't receive strings, right, or label, and you have to convert them into a one-hot encoding or a label value, right? So if you look at if before doing that, prior to that, you can look at the data here and you see the city name Mumbai, right? And when did the flight take, in an afternoon or at a takeoff at a night, in the night, right? Here, after doing the encoding, you can see all that data is being fully converted into label encoded data, so the machine can directly ingest this data, right? And then you can also select which are your training columns after all the data cleanup is done, what are your target columns, and 20% of the data is going to be used as validation data set, right? And then once you have all that stuff, you can send that data into your regression trainer, and you can select the type of the estimator you want to use there. And then once it's all done, you can just click on training, and then the training will start right underneath, and it's actually processing right now. Since I've trained this already, I'm going to click on the model, and you can see the model being generated. It's looking at it's giving you root mean squared and score values and R2 values for it, right? And then you can also build a function. You can put a function and extend and use this model in your code very easily and keep extending it. With Interplay Spirit, we are also introducing a SageMaker component to it as well. So if you want to enable and introduce processing using Amazon SageMaker, you can do that as well. So you drop that node and it'll automatically determine where to process this, either directly on Interplay or inside SageMaker. So this enables you to use and leverage operations performed by various network APIs, right? So as you can see, in this version, we are providing much more granular controls to do all these things without any code, to build very advanced AI, as well as to do data cleanup, because data cleanup is significant part of any data science or machine learning project you get involved in. So we are making that very simple with this version of Interplay Spirit. Thank you.